Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Ditch Decade Diets podcast. I am your host, Lorna, certified food freedom coach and founder of the Ditch Decade Diets Academy. I've spent 10 years in an unhealthy relationship with food, binge eating, over-exercising, and feeling insecure in my body. This podcast is all about helping you get to the root of your food struggles and teaching you how to rewire your brain so you can end binge eating. If you're ready to improve your relationship with food and cultivate more self-love towards yourself and your health, this is the podcast for you. So let's get to it and jump right in. Hello, you guys. I am so freaking excited for you guys to listen to this special podcast episode where I will be bringing on some of my clients inside of the Root and Rewire membership and the Ditch Decade Diets Academy to celebrate them. I decided to throw a bonus call for all my clients just to honestly celebrate them. And this is so important to celebrate yourself, celebrate your wins, really see how far you've come. And I'm excited for you to also hear the wins, for you to really just see what's possible for you to really see what can happen when you show up for yourself, you implement the tools, you commit to a better relationship with food. Like, you can be so mind blown for how much less impulsive you can feel, how many less binges you can experience, how you can be able to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full with the proper support and the proper community. So you're going to hear all these incredible wins. Some of them you're going to hear like binge free after 5 months, being able to process emotions without self-soothing with food, being able to stop eating when you're full after going to a restaurant, even though the food is delicious. There's somebody who celebrated no longer engaging in negative self-talk, even after doing a little bit of overeating. One person celebrated having more satisfying meals, and literally she can't even remember the last time that she binged. Another one of my clients deleted MyFitnessPal. She no longer weighs herself. She no longer weighs her food. So these are just like a few of the wins you're going to hear, and you can hear it from me, but hearing from the clients that I'm going to bring on is going to be a whole different experience for you. And the common denominator truly between the people who conquer binge eating and the people that don't is really simple. The people who conquer binge eating don't give up. They continue to show up for themselves every single day. They trust the process. They take action. They implement the tools to rewire their brain. They give themselves grace and self-compassion. They celebrate their wins, and they're part of a community who cheers them on every single step of the way. And when you do this, like, you're going to conquer. Like, you show up, you're committed, you're going to conquer binge eating. And you're going to hear from a lot of the clients that I'm working with, and even just hearing their mindset, right? Like, I just know I'm going to conquer because I'm trusting the process. I know I'm going to conquer because, I'm experiencing these wins. Like, there are some things I'm able to do with food that don't even feel like me. So I'm so excited for you to listen. I know this is going to give you so much hope and so much encouragement. But more so than anything, I want you to take action. You can hear all these clients that are going to come on and share their incredible wins, and that is amazing. But what I want more than anything is for you to take action, for you to start experiencing these binge-free days, these binge-free weeks, these binge-free months, being able to eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, and just experience the true freedom, no longer thinking about food and calories all day long. So I'm excited for you to go ahead and listen to all my clients. And if you are looking for support, if you know it's time for you to get support, if you know that it's time for you to be part of a community so that you can feel less alone, so that you can start experiencing these binge-free days, then you can definitely message me on my Instagram, whether you want to join the Root and Rewire membership, which is really learning the foundational tools to improve your relationship with food, and it's monthly coaching with me. Or if you're looking for more personalized coaching, which is basically daily and weekly coaching inside of the Ditch Decade Diets Academy, there is something for you, and I am excited to support you. So feel free to message me on my Instagram after you listen to this and you know that it's time to get plugged into the proper support and the proper community. But without further ado, let's go ahead and celebrate the crapola out of these amazing, amazing, amazing ladies inside of the Root and Rewire membership and the Ditch Decade Diets Academy. Hello, you guys. Welcome to our celebration call for the membership and for you guys in the academy. I'm so grateful you are here. I'm so excited you are here. I wanted to do this celebration call because you guys know the importance of celebrating yourself. You guys celebrate yourself in the group chat. Every single time we do a Q&A, I ask you what your wins are, and that's all great. But I really want to utilize this call to not only have me celebrate you guys, but for you to really anchor in every single thing that you have accomplished up until this point. I don't care if you have been in the membership or the academy for a week. I don't care if you've been in the membership or the academy for 8 months. It does not matter. The fact is, you have progress. You've made some incredible progress. And I want you to shine. I want you to see yourself. I want you to celebrate yourself. And I really want you to see how far you've come. Because it's so easy to say, yeah, but I still don't have that. Yeah, but okay, well, I haven't been binging, but I'm not where I want to be with my health and fitness goals. Well, I haven't been binging, but I'm still overeating. Yeah, but, and it's like always like, yeah, but you have done some incredible things, all of you guys on this call, and everyone who is going to be catching the replay. And when you see how far you've come, the next goals that you have is going to be you're going to get there so much faster. Something that, and you guys can let me know in the chat if you can resonate with this. When I was on my journey, there was fear sometimes in celebrating myself. Because what if I celebrate the fact that I haven't binged and then I binge? That's going to be so embarrassing. Oh my gosh, what are people going to think? I can't say that I didn't binge because what if I literally binge in 20 minutes right after I said that? What if everyone thinks, oh my gosh, she's doing so amazing, and then I binge and I'm like so embarrassed? Or what if I share a win and I think it's a big deal, and then somebody else shares a win and it seems way bigger than my win? Like, do I still celebrate myself? So there's so many things that you might get into your head. You might not want to celebrate yourself because maybe you don't feel like it's a big deal. Maybe you don't want to celebrate yourself in fear of like jinxing it, or like, I can't say that I haven't been binging because what if I binge tonight, or like, what if I binge tomorrow? Or I don't want to celebrate because I know other people are struggling and I don't want to say, oh, everything's so good and like I'm doing amazing, and like, how about the people that are struggling? There is so much to this. But what I will say is this: you got to celebrate you for you. And also, when you celebrate yourself, that also gives people the permission to celebrate themselves. And when you celebrate yourselves, it also shows other people what's possible. Imagine if I didn't share my journey and my binge-free journey, none of you guys would be here. Imagine I was like, well, I'm not 10 years binge-free, so like I better not share it. Like, that's ludicrous. It's crazy, right? So it doesn't matter if it's a day binge-free, a week binge-free, a month binge-free. It doesn't even matter if it's not even binge-free. It's just the fact that I'm not binging and I'm still overeating. That's a win. It doesn't matter if it's like, you know, I was able to like eat a potato and not feel guilty. That's a massive win. There's never a win too small or too big, ever, 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 ever. And I want you guys to drop in the chat commit if you are committed to celebrating every single moment in your journey. Drop commit in the chat if you are going to commit to celebrating every single aspect of your journey. No matter how big, no matter how small, every single day, every single moment is a win. The fact that you are here is a win. The fact that you are caring about your health is a win. The fact that you are caring enough to heal your relationship with food is a massive win. You guys being in the academy, some of you guys being in the membership, that's a freaking win. So what I want to do today is, of course, celebrate yourself. I want to go around, and if you feel comfortable sharing, I'd love to just hear a win, whether it's like, I've been following you for so long and I finally decided to commit to the academy, or I was able to go out for lunch today without guilt, whatever it is. And what's going to be helpful for yourself, and what's also going to be super helpful for the group, is also explaining like why. My coach used to always ask, like, what do you think made the biggest difference? And that makes you reflect, like, wait, what have I been doing that's been working that I'm going to do more of? Right? So it's not just celebrate the win, but it's like, why? Why? Because let's say Katie shares a win and she's like, it's because I started doing XYZ thing. And that's been working for her, and you haven't been doing it. Maybe that's something that you can start to implement. So it's going to be so helpful for the entire group to share your win. And then, like, why do you think that has? Maybe it's been your mindset. Maybe it's been a specific tool that you learned in the program. Maybe it's how you're showing up. Whatever it is, it's going to be so helpful. Okay. So I'm very, very, very excited. We're just going to go around, and anything you want to share, there's not a right or wrong answer. Just the fact that, again, you're here is a huge celebration. And if you don't feel like sharing, you can just let me know in the chat. But I want to go to Hannah first, because I just want to say something. Okay. So Hannah and I, hi, Hannah.
Hey, I'm
So,
outside, guys. Look at this. How
so
can you not feel happy like in this? Like, yeah, I live in the country and I'm just sitting in my field right now.
you look like you're in like the most relaxing place ever. I love it. Okay, so I wanted to pull up Hannah because Hannah joined the academy not too long ago, and we have been chatting back and forth for quite some time. And you finally pulled the plug and you joined the academy. And I just want to first celebrate you, but I also want to hear like your mindset and even wanting to join. What's been helpful for you? What are your wins? Like, just kind of share anything you want to share in regards to that.
Yeah, so yeah, I know Lorna knows I went back and forth for like ever. I was like, we chatted for a long time and I was like, I would join so many of your programs, like in any deal like you would give, I would do the course. And I always kind of felt like I've been struggling with this for a long time, and I've actually like I've healed myself a lot. Like my binges are not as bad as they were like years ago. So I've progressively like just learned things and everything, but I there was a piece like missing. Like it just kind of lingered, and I was like, why is this thing still like holding on? So that was kind of like, and like I kind of just had enough the one day. Like it was funny. So I had a binge the one day, and I promised myself like I would join, and I still didn't. And I was like, no, I'm gonna join today. Like I'm gonna message her and I'm gonna join. And then I didn't. And I'm like, no, I can do this on my own. And then I had another binge like the week after, and I was like, okay, like seriously, you told yourself you would and you didn't. It's kind of like the same mentality as like getting over a binge. I was like, you said you would join, and like you said you could do it on your own, and I just couldn't. And then as soon as I joined the academy, it was like this like feeling of relief, actually, because it was like I'm with a group of like people, women that like just understand, like get it when you're like any body image issues, or like I have friends that I'll say, oh, I had a binge, and they're like, oh, I do that too. And you're like, no, you don't. Like having a couple cookies or overeating isn't. It's like I numb out. I like my stomach like sensors like turn off. Like I can put away food. So that was just really it. And I, like I said, I have to say, like as soon as I joined, I had this like sense of like support that I have never had before. And it was like I didn't even get into the material or anything. It was just like knowing that I had like the backbone of women that get me, and just the reminders of, even when you guys share your struggles, I'm like, I get it. 100% I get it. And like, so like your wins are my wins, and like your struggles are mine as well. So I get it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. And I love how you kind of use the analogy of like a binge of like, I'm going to promise myself like Monday, I'm not going to binge, or like Monday, I'm going to like get started. I'm like, Monday is going to be better. And it's like, when is it going to be like the last time, And it's
Yeah.
so glad that you took that plunge, that took that step. So I know it's obviously just been a little bit since you joined the academy, but like, I want to celebrate you. What do you feel like, what do you feel like has been the biggest shift for you? Or like, what do you feel has been going really well and why? Like, what's the biggest difference maker? Is there a specific tool? Is there a specific mindset? Is there something that I said that's like really sticking with you? Like, what's been super helpful for you, do you feel?
Um, yeah, so just the fact that it's not like healing isn't linear. Like I really like that reminder, and just like even when I mess up or like I have weeks where I don't binge, or then I have a week where I'll binge twice and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's going backwards. Like this isn't working." Like, and so I think that is like the biggest help, is like just knowing that like binging is kind of part of the process of healing, and just knowing that it's not linear, and just like I said, showing up to the community and coming back. I think when you like put this like as an investment for yourself, you're like, I'm gonna do this. Like I put that money down, and that was a huge thing for me. Like I'm a single mom, like I wasn't working, I had some family issues going on, and so like money was something that I was watching closely. And then like I don't regret like spending the money at all. Like so that was, and just knowing that like it's for me. And I spent so much money on like programs and products and diet plans, and it's like embarrassing. Like it's embarrassing when I look back. If I have an Apple phone, and like on my books little like iPad like or icon, if I go back at all the diet plans I spent, like I don't want to do like calculate that. It's embarrassing. Like of all, or the supplements or everything, it was just like I have had enough. So, and yeah, I have had very messy days, and days where like even the other day I had a binge, and then 2 days later I had a like another, like I kind of slid into like overeating, and I was like, oh, here we go again. And like I kind of caught myself in the middle of it, and I was like, no, 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 like don't do this. And one of the girls in the academy had posted the post sabotage um little lesson, and I listened to that, and I did the meditation, and it was just like the meditation was on like the relationship you have with pain. And it was just like it hit me so deep. Like I just totally reframed how I had overeaten that day, and I was like, you know what, like just because I overate doesn't mean like it was wrong. Like I'm a very active person, and that has nothing really to do with it either, but it was more like I have just become so used to dieting that I'm used to like this little amount of food, that anything over that is like I consider like overdoing it, but really it could just be like exactly what my body needs, right?
That is huge. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that because when, like you said, we're so used to such little calories, and it's like you even have an extra snack, and it's like, oh my God, I
Hmm.
was great today, or like today I failed, and it's like, no, like not at all. It's like you're just hungrier, or like, you know what I mean? Like that's totally fine. Like you're actually not doing anything wrong, and that's where like the reprogramming comes in. It's like, wait, like I didn't do anything wrong. And like, even if I've overeaten, like I don't have to beat myself up about it. Like that's so huge that you're just even having that awareness, and just being more aware and being more kind to yourself. That will take you so much further than just beating yourself up and telling yourself that you're never going to heal or I'm not good enough. Like that's never going to be supportive.
Hmm. And so yeah, that was my win for this week. It was like I was like in such a dark place after I'd overeaten. Like my friend and I had made these like healthy brownies. Like they were healthy and made out of like freaking white beans. And like I love cooking like that. And it was just funny because I had like, I kid you not, like 4 or 5, because I was enjoying it. Like I was like just enjoying them. And I started to get into this mindset like, oh my God, like you've had that many, like half the tray is gone. Like, oh my gosh. And I got into like this really, I'm really down on myself after a binge. Like I feel like crap. I feel so down on myself. Like, how did this happen again? Maybe I'm broken. Like maybe this program isn't for me. Maybe I'm really an overeater. Maybe I'm addicted to sugar. Like I go into all of those things, Nora. I think you are resonating with everything I'm saying. But like I had that moment like on Thursday. I was like, yep, I'm like this program isn't for me either. I just like wasted my, and then I like listened to your meditation, and I was like, whoa, like I caught myself, and I just like totally flipped it. I ended up like eating a really nice dinner that night, and you know what I noticed was I started beating myself up after overeating, and then I caught myself, and I was like, wait a minute, how do you actually feel? Because like in your mind, you're like, okay, you overate, you did something wrong. And I was sitting there and I'm like, but I actually feel like energized and good. Like,
Mm,
why am I upset with myself?
yeah. Yeah. And it's
So
total
yeah.
reframe, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, especially when you've tried so many different diets. It's like, this isn't going to work for me. It's like, that's just the dialogue because, you've done the diet. It hasn't worked. That's the track record. And it's like, you guys have seen, like, this is completely different than any diet. And it's like, but the mindset is still like, is it going to work for me? Like, and it's like, we got to flip the switch and remind yourself that what we're doing here in this program of healing your relationship with food is completely different than any diet. You cannot fail unless you just stop trying. Period. You cannot fail unless you just stop trying. If you stop trying, of course, it's not going to work. But if you continue to show up like you are doing, you're showing up, you're like, I just knew you were going to be in the academy one day because I'm like, you're such like, I can just feel that like you just care a lot about yourself. You care a lot about your health and you want to become better. Like I can feel that. Like you ask like such good questions and like you're always prepared. You're like, even in the 21 day, it's like you came with like all these questions, like you really want to heal, and
Mhm.
like you just lean into that and you're going to conquer 100%.
Well, it's funny because I wish you could have just convinced me at the beginning to like join because I'm like, I kind of had this feeling I would join too. And I am just like the worst overthinker of life,
Yeah.
like the most indecisive human being. If you want to like talk to my boyfriend, I'm pretty sure he just like slams his head against the wall because yeah. Anyway, that's my win. And yeah, I hope that helps anybody. But that post self-sabotage meditation like really just like hit me. Like
Mm.
it changed something for me. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. And, I'm actually glad that you joined now because I never push anyone to join any of my programs because you know what? It's actually so much better for yourselves to join when you're ready because when you're ready, that's when you show up. When you're ready, you're committed to change. When you're ready, it's like, this is the time. Like, and it just results like just explode because when you're ready, it's like you show up and you do the work, So I think this is perfect timing. I'm so happy to have you and thank you for
Yes, thank you.
sharing your win. So good.
Thank you.
I also, I'm just gonna share my screen. I didn't do this for everyone, you guys. There was just a few that I put together, but I just want to, can you guys see my screen? Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to share this because Hannah shared this and it's like a big win. Okay. Like she normally, when she goes out for dinner or whatever with her boyfriend, she tends to order the same thing. And on her academy call, she shared that she actually wanted a baked potato that sounded really good. And she got it and she owned her food choices and she ate it. And that is so huge. You guys, hear me say this all the time. Own your food choices. I'm going to have exactly what I'm craving. I haven't done this in a long time. I'm going to do that. My body is saying, have some more carbs, and I'm going to go have the carbs. Like, that is an amazing win. So let's just all celebrate Hannah in the chat. Like, such an amazing win. So freaking proud of you. I love it. Okay, amazing. All right. I'll be ordering it again. Yes, 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 yes. And sometimes this is also a lesson. When you do something once that feels so scary, and then it's like, oh, okay, maybe it wasn't actually that scary. And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and you're like, oh, okay, like that actually was not scary at all. Or like, even if it was scary, it's like, but like it's exciting for me now. Your fear will turn into excitement real quick. Even joining a program, it's like, oh my God, I'm so scared. And then it turns into excitement of like, I have so much hope. Ordering what you want on the menu can feel so scary. And then you do it and you're like, damn, that was like the best freaking dinner ever. Deleting my fitness pal. It's like, holy shit, like I need to know how much I'm eating. It's so scary. And then you delete it and you're so excited to never have to weigh, track, and measure your food ever again. The fear turns into excitement real quick when you lean into the fear. But if you keep not trying to feel the fear and you avoid the fear, then you're going to live a very disappointing life. If you lean into the fear, there's only excitement, there's only good things that come out of it. There's a reason why there's fear. It's like, I care about my relationship with food. Like, I want to become better. Like, of course you care. Of course there's fear, So just wanted to share that. Okay. Next up, I'm going to share my screen first before we go on to the next person. But Nora, I'm going to talk about you for a little bit. So I wanted to put this together. She has been inside of the membership for 5 months now. And you guys, she just registered for her first 5K. And she said, like, I couldn't even go an hour without food 5 months ago. And now she's living her life. She's making new friends. She's pushing her mind and body. And she's binge free. Like, she's enjoying her life, meeting new people, going and living her freaking life. So let's just all celebrate Nora in the chat. Like, let's just give her all the love. But Nora, I want to take you off of mute, and I just want you to share, if you feel comfortable, like the biggest, like the things that have been most helpful for you, or any other wins, but like what do you think has gotten you to this point? Because being binge free after, you tried on your own for about 20 years now, like, and it's like you came in, you showed up for yourself. And I want everyone to kind of hear what you feel like has been the biggest like game changers for you, like what has been the most helpful. So I'm just going to unmute you, and hopefully you're able to come off of mute. Let me see. I think you have to press the button yourself. It should pop up on your end. Oh, technology. If not, you can, I guess you can drop it in the chat, but I want to hear your voice. We'll see. No, let me see. Ask to unmute. There's something should be popping up on your end. If not, we can go to the next person and then we can come back to you. Keep pressing unmute. That's so weird. Maybe again, log out and come back on. But on your phone, there should be a thing on the left-hand side. It's like a microphone. If you just click on that. Okay, I'll circle back. I'll circle back. Okay, let's go. And I don't have PowerPoints for every single person. There's like 100 of you guys. Just to let you guys know, I just pulled up a few. Okay, let's go to Katie. I want you to come up, Katie, and celebrate you.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Good, good. Okay, so let's start off with some wins. What do you feel like has been going really well, and what do you feel like has helped you get to the point of where you're at right now? Even if we're not where we want to be, it's like what do you feel has been the most helpful for you? And I want to hear some wins, because I know that you're always showing up, you're always like plugging in for yourself. So what has been some wins and what's been most helpful for you?
Some wins I feel like from the past couple weeks is I'm trying to focus on having nutritious meals that I'm excited to eat, not just kind of like the same old, same old. But that also is getting me to like have to figure out when I can do meal prep with like the kids and my husband helping out. But I actually was following someone on Instagram, and she has a lot of great like Mediterranean style recipes, and I love that kind of stuff. My mom always used to cook it, and it always was something for me where I was like, oh, too much olive oil, or I'd go into that diet culture of like, okay, like I can't have too much. Maybe I'll just do the spray and not do like but the meals that I've had that I've cooked already have been so good, and I've been satisfied after them. And so that's been a big win for me, not having to think about counting calories, because I was doing that for so long. And so kind of not thinking about that and not restricting other times during the day has been helpful. So like that was good, and I'm just enjoying it. My kids are sometimes eating it. but not all of them, but we can only try to share the love of the Mediterranean food. But that has been my wins, trying to have something nutritious that I'm excited about, which is some of the stuff you talked about in like the being less impulsive. So some of the stuff that I like that like is nutritious and just good for me, that's kind of what's been good the past couple weeks for me.
I love that. Just like even the freedom to not have to worry about like weighing and tracking and measuring, like it's just you can probably actually spend more time like meal prepping because you're busy. You got your own business, like you're a busy lady. You got a family, you got a business, and it's a lot. And then it's like to meal prep sometimes and to have food prepared, like that's already a lot sometimes. And then to have to worry
Hmm.
about like, is it gonna fit my macros? Like that's a whole other headache.
Yep.
So I'm so glad that you're prioritizing that and you're trying different recipes and just not having like the lowest calorie option. It's like what's actually gonna be like most satisfying for me. That's amazing. I think
Yeah.
that's huge. You guys know I say this all the time. It's like sometimes in our head it's like, oh, like this is the lowest calorie option that's going to be the healthiest, and half the time it's like the things with the real stuff is actually like way better for you, you know what I mean, health wise, for energy and everything. So Katie, I'm so proud of you. I know you joined the membership, I think it was like the end of October, right?
I think it was, yeah, it was like November. Another thing that I've noticed, and for those of you that don't know, the business that I have is a cookie decorating business. So I have cookies in the house all the time. And I haven't really been eating them, which is just because I haven't really wanted them. And I feel like before, I'm like, oh, I have an extra cookie. Might as well eat it.
Yeah.
When I wouldn't even necessarily want it. It was just, oh, it's there. I'll eat it. But now it's like, I don't really feel like eating it. And I just give them to whoever. I'm like, okay, I have extra cookies. You want some? It's like something I don't even have to like think about anymore, which is nice. I mean, I still have binges here and there. Like I had someone, and I had written this in Slack, but a couple weeks ago I was volunteering at a fish fry in town, and someone who I knew congratulated me on my upcoming pregnancy. And I'm not pregnant. I have 3 kids, and my littlest he's 18 months old, and I gained weight with each pregnancy. So, obviously I'm not in my best shape, and it is what it is. I'm getting there. But it did make me feel like that never has happened to me before. So it did feel really upsetting to me when she said that. And I just kind of like looked at her because she knew me when I used to teach jazzercise. I used to be a jazzercise instructor. I'm also a physical therapist. So I was less weight then, right? And I was exercising and teaching. So like she knew me then. So like for her to say that, I just kind of was like, as a pelvic physical therapist who treats women, right, and who sees a lot of moms who are pregnant, for me, it was just kind of like you don't say anything about someone else's body in general, right? But if you don't know the person's pregnant, you really don't say anything, right? I just, for me, it was just kind of like, no, no, I'm not pregnant. And she was like, oh, and she just changed the topic, no apology. And I was like, you know what? Like, I didn't go home and binge, but I did feel bad about myself. So I'm excited about the body image challenge
Yes.
after that. So
Yeah. And but honestly, like even everyone saying in the chat, like obviously nobody should be commenting on that. Like that's just kind of like a no-brainer thing. You know what I mean? Some people don't understand that. But for you to feel frustrated, like that's obvious. Like of course you're gonna feel frustrated, but the fact that you didn't let it spiral into a binge is huge. We're allowed to be upset. Because that's not a nice comment. So I just want to validate you as well too, of like you have every single right to be upset, to be frustrated. Nobody should be making those comments. But something that I've noticed for you, Katie, is I know like you live like a very busy life, right? And it's like go, go, go all the time. But I feel like you're just getting better at feeling your emotions. You're getting better at even understanding like what emotion am I even feeling? Like I'm getting that sense.
mhm.
And it's like you're even just taking more time to like be with the emotion versus like just reacting, and it's like
Yeah,
that makes a huge
yeah,
difference.
it's slowly coming.
Yeah. Yeah, but I notice it because it's like how easy it to be like, I'm stressed. Oh my God, I can't handle this. I'm just gonna eat. And it's like, no, you're allowed to feel the stress. And it's like, I'm just gonna take a moment to like be with the emotion because I don't have to run
Yeah.
away from it. And that makes a huge difference. So I've noticed that for you. And I
Mhm.
just want to celebrate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, Kate, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh, okay, let's go ahead. And I want to let's go to Ildi. I want to pull you up. Hello, if you're able to.
Hello.
Hi. Oh my God, this is like our first time chatting back and forth. Hi.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, amazing. So I would love to hear a win from you. What has been going well since being in the membership? And why do you feel like you are experiencing some wins? Like, what has been the biggest kind of breakthroughs for you?
Mm-hmm. So I think for me, the biggest one is just being able to allow myself to eat things that I have a taste for instead of things that are quote unquote healthy. And then I would try to modify meals to make it more healthy, such as not putting enough oil in it or some ingredients. And so I used to do that. And between being able to eat foods that I haven't allowed myself for a long while, also just counting the calories, and that made it very hard even to cook something, because then you have to recount the calories almost every single time, because oh my God, if I'm off with 50 calories, then the world is gonna end.
Yeah. My God.
So I think that was my biggest win. And I just remember it was just right before, I think it was even either starting before the first program I started with you. It was Thanksgiving and we were visiting my mother-in-law, and I just allowed myself to basically eat anything and everything, but keeping in mind that I need to be aware of that fullness.
Yes.
And just try not to overeat. Of course, at that time, it wasn't that super great, but it's still just having the awareness
Yes.
of the fullness, because when you are dieting and counting calories, it's extremely lost. And then even if you, let's say, Google healthy eating, nobody talks about, everyone says portion control, but nobody says fullness.
Yes.
I
Yes.
find that so negatively amazing.
Yes. Oh, I actually love that you shared that, because it's true. It's like all diets tell you eat less. It never says like, how does this food even make you feel? You know, it doesn't
Exactly.
say like, are you actually satisfied? Are you enjoying your food? Are you enjoying your life? Like it's none of that. It's just like, eat less, work out more, like that's it, And I'm so glad that you are really paying more attention to your body and actually allowing yourself to eat what sounds good, not just the lowest calorie option. I think that's a massive win for you. And I know that you joined the Eat Normally program before too, and it's like just being more in tune with hunger and fullness. You can feel hunger and fullness when you're not dieting, when you're out of your head, you're not thinking about food, you're actually in your body. You can feel your hunger, you can feel your fullness so much more. And that's a massive win.
Yes.
So good. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
so good. Oh my God. All right, we're gonna go back to Nora. Let's see if this works. Yay! Okay, hi. I am so excited to celebrate you, Mrs. like binge free, Mrs. gonna go run a 5K. Like let's hear from the queen. What has been most helpful for you? Like what helped you get to this point?
I think for me, it was, well, I didn't really restrict. I was just like a binge. I'll start tomorrow, start tomorrow, start tomorrow. It's been 20 years of I'll start tomorrow. I never really restricted on anything. I always ate whatever I wanted to eat. I had what really helped me a lot actually is exactly what Ildi said. It was the eating to satisfaction and getting satisfying meals. I remember the first time, it's funny, because you always mention, you remember that first binge. I remember the first time I put maple syrup on my pancakes, and that was a huge win for me back in the for the membership. it just got me so excited. But I think what really, really, the tool that I've used the most is the limiting belief. And I always
Yes.
work backwards: the result, the thought, the feelings, the behavior, and the limiting. It that tool, I still use it today. I used it this morning. It's something that I do every single morning. But what I find really interesting is that I no longer have limiting beliefs when it comes to food. And what I'm absolutely shocked is that how this has played into my life. It's like I'm doing things, I'm going places. I haven't gone to my holiday party in 19 years. First time I went was at Christmas. I was the heaviest I was ever. I felt like my stomach was out, my hips were this way. And I went, and the amount of compliments I got that day was insane. I couldn't believe it. And then it was like, okay, okay, so that worked out. That's great. And then I don't know, like, people who are in the membership know that I'm struggling now a little bit with a friend of mine with this Ozempic thing. And she's thrown a lot of nasty comments my way. And I'm starting to realize, and people have said to me, sometimes it's exactly what you said too, Lorna. It's not me, it's she's struggling with it herself. So yeah, so I realized that too. And I sit there and I'm like, and she says, I don't have food thoughts anymore. And I don't go and eat like a big box of crackers anymore. And I'm like, I don't do that either. I don't do that either. I don't do that either. And I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm amazed. But also another thing that's helped me a lot is your Q&As. The day in January when you said to, and I kept saying to you, I'm doing so well, I know I'm going to fail. I'm doing so well, I know I'm going to fail. And you told me to replace my fear with excitement.
Yes.
I did it, and that changed me. That changed me completely. I get excited for things. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, look, yesterday, you know what? I had my chocolates, I had my ice cream in the evening. Part of me was like, did I have too much? And then I was like, no, I think I'm okay. Like, I was really satisfied with it. And it's more that, and you also said on one of the Q&As, you had said somebody had asked you, how do you know when you're full? And you said, you go more on satisfaction.
Yeah.
And just all these like little key things you've said,
Yeah.
like I've repeated them over and over and over and over and over to myself. But what I'm really, really amazed of is that I feel unrecognizable from like 5 months ago till now. I can't believe it. I
Oh.
can't believe it. I just can't. Like, I'm just so excited for things to happen, And it's also before, like, it was a lot of food, like food thoughts were in me nonstop.
Yeah.
Like nonstop. It was like you said, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna look at the menu. I'm at work, I'm in the car, and guys, I did it. Like, I work until midnight. I so many gas stations I've stopped to buy like three bags of chips, two chocolate bars. I mean, my husband had no idea until I finally told him. I said, you have no clue. I would shoo the man upstairs to bed so I could, like, we've all done it.
Yeah.
But it's just, I just don't have those thoughts anymore. I
Yeah.
just don't have them. Listen, I know I still overeat. It's not that I don't. I still overeat from time to time, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. One time.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And I even said to somebody else, and you just have so many amazing wins, and I so appreciate you sharing. Like, the fact that you just feel so unrecognizable, like that's like the biggest compliment. You know what I mean? Like, just from the inside, like just feeling happy, feeling proud of yourself, feeling excited, like that's massive. And I even said to somebody, like, sometimes you almost like need a session of overeating, or like you even need a binge to be like, I haven't done that in so long, to recognize how far you've come. You know what I mean? And it's like, you're just crushing it. And I'm so glad that what I've noticed for you is everything that I say, you you like internalize it and you let it like land in your body. It's not like you just like listen to a training and you're like, okay, like that was great. It's like I can be saying the same thing 10 times and it like I feel like it just like lands differently for you. Like you just really like listen to what I'm saying and you go and you put it into action. You don't just hear what I'm gonna say. You freaking go take action, and that's who you are.
But Lorna, you do know, like, you are very special because you attack this in a way that no one I've seen does. Like, nobody, because it's exactly what you do. It's not the distractions. It's getting to the bottom of it. Like, really, it's simple, but it's just work. And
Yes.
even the day on one of your was it the TN teachings? But because I was going to ask you that in our Q&A, and I was going to ask you, I wish I had met you 15 or 20 years ago, and you had answered back to somebody who said, okay, well, you can't do anything about that, so just let it be. Now, instead of, having it drag on for a little bit longer, because part of me also feels like I do have regrets, because I feel like, even for my kids, I mean, they're 20 years old, and I feel like so much of the time I was always thinking about school. Even them, I was scooch away,
Yeah.
but it's okay. I mean, it's okay, because from now we're going to move forward. But I mean, it took me a while to get here. I mean, the amount of times I've planted on my face,
Yeah.
like in the past 5 months, like
Yeah.
it's been non-stop. But it's what you said. It's like, it's okay. Just get up, dust yourself off,
Yeah.
and keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
You are the definition of being resilient, because let me say this. Somebody else could have quote unquote fallen on their face and said, oh, well, this isn't going to work. So like, oh, well, I guess I'm shit out of luck. And you didn't do that. All of you guys didn't do that because you're still here. It's okay to have a not so good day. It's okay. This journey is up and down and it's like, but it's like you just kept going and you didn't let this not work. You didn't not let this work. Like you're like, I'm going to find a way. This is going to work for me. And you just continue to show up day after day after day with your badass tools, you sharing your wins, and here you are. So it's no coincidence that you're here. And I'm just so, so proud of you.
Thank you. Can I just say one more thing? Because you asked what else helped me. It's the 4-day masterclass in December. That masterclass was just, oh my God. I made notes and I read it over and over again. But one of the things you did in there is that you said action, evidence, self-belief, self-trust. And that was another thing that was on repeat for me, because it's true. Like I didn't believe in myself. I had no self-trust, but like a lot of us, if somebody asked me to do something, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it for them, but not for myself.
Yeah.
Not for myself. And then I started, okay, no, actually, but something really simple, like very, very simple things that I could do, and I started that action, evidence, self-belief, and it just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew.
Yes.
And grew.
Yes.
So, Lorna, honestly, I can't thank you enough. Like I still have work to do. Like I said, I mean, like there's still a lot of work to be done. Yeah. But I feel like I'm finally not stuck in mud. Like I feel like it's just go. I'm starting to go.
Yes. Yes. I feel like you've been going this whole time because you're just a freaking action taker, girlfriend. Like you just go and go and go and go.
Yeah, I go, but then I find I go and rewind once in a while, but it's okay. It's okay because to learn from it.
Yes. Yes. But like, do you guys even just hear her mindset right now? Like even what she just said, like, even if I go and I feel like I rewind for a little bit, I learned from it. Somebody else can be like, well, I go and I rewind and like, well, that sucks. Like, it's the mindset. Who are you being in these moments? Like that makes the biggest difference. So I hope you guys are all just feeling her excitement, feeling her energy, because this is so incredible and you're just such a good example and I'm just so proud of you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you got to come on. I get to hear your voice. I get to see your beautiful face. This is like such a gift. It's amazing. So good. Amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, you guys are freaking incredible. This is so amazing. I hope you guys are like getting so fired up and like so lit up. Like I just wanted to do this bonus call to just like celebrate the crap out of you guys and just like, even if like somebody else is sharing, like I hope you're feeling the excitement, you know, like that's what I wanted from all you guys. So let's keep going. I want to go ahead and bring up Liz. Liz, I'm so excited to celebrate you. You have also been somebody who's just been, you know, showing up for yourself. You are always sharing your badass tools inside of the Slack app. We did some other programs together. Now you've been in the membership. So why don't you come off of mute and just share like some wins, your biggest takeaways, what has been most helpful for you?
Sure. I mean, I think on the largest scale, and I have to remind myself of this on a daily basis when I have the setbacks, is like, day one of joining the membership 3 or so months ago, I deleted my fitness pal, have not stepped on the scale, and I put away the food scale. Like those 3 things were running my life, like literally all day long, every single ounce and every single gram and blah, blah, blah. And it's just the freedom that I've gotten from that. That is like, I have to remind myself of that it can't be lost on me, because that is just life-changing in and of itself. And the like mental freedom that's given me is huge. So, that's just kind of on a macro scale. And then most recently, I think I had so many aha moments in the 21-day challenge that you just did, especially around like the hunger and fullness cues. I was like sort of listening to my body, but not really, still going by like, okay, I normally eat breakfast at this time, so I'm going to eat breakfast at this time. And this is when I eat lunch, and this is when I eat dinner. And like I think it's also the habitual, like I go into the kitchen at this time to get a snack and whatever. And I really started like, I used the tracker the first couple of days, and it forced me to like internalize and say, am I actually hungry or not? And some of the times I was like, okay, I'm like really hungry right now. And my instinct would have been to push till, lunchtime to eat, or like, 11 o'clock to eat breakfast. But I'm going to eat breakfast now because I'm hungry. And it's like just the mindfulness in the past couple of weeks, putting my utensils down, plating literally everything, even if it's like 3 crackers. It feels really stupid sometimes, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down and like, this is going to be a thing. I'm not going to just like, because I think we've all, especially, with tracking macros, it's like, if you don't, if you're just reaching your hand in a bag, then it doesn't count. Like if I'm just licking a spoon, then it doesn't count.
Yeah.
So it's like the act of actually sitting down, being mindful. Like today I realized like every time I ate, I was like so in tune with how I was feeling, my body, like, do I really want this? I'm finding myself like, if I do habitually go into the pantry or something and I'm like going to reach for something, I'm like, wait, I'm not even hungry. Like, what am I doing right now? So it's just the like remembering how to eat like a normal person.
Yes, literally.
And it's, like Nora said, I still have a lot of work to do. I still definitely overeat, but I don't binge. Like I have not gone to that like autopilot place in the longest time, where you're just like,
Yeah.
going off the rails and like don't even realize what you're doing. So
Okay, like so many wins. Like first of all, like deleting my fitness pal is a freaking huge step. No longer weighing yourself, just being more connected to your body. And yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, I have to put all my food on a plate and like go sit down. Like sometimes it's like, oh my God, this is effort. Like this is work. But you realize how like disconnected we can be when we're standing up in front of the counter, hand in the bag, hand in the mouth. It's like so disconnected. And for you to actually be utilizing these tools, you're another one of these action takers that I like to say, like every time that I share something with you, it's like you go and you implement it. Like I remember even one of the Q&A calls, you were talking about like, even just like, preparing dinner for your family. And I shared something with you. And I feel like the next day you're like, oh, by the way, I implemented the strategy. And I was like, action taker. Like, it's no wonder that you haven't had binges because you're actually putting in the work and you're utilizing all the tools. So I just want to share that and reflect that back to you too. Like you are really showing up for yourself and you're implementing, which is massive.
Thank you. I'll just say one more thing to piggyback off of what Nora said. Like one thing that has been huge for me that I keep coming back to is like you saying that the process is not linear and like overeating is a normal part of it and like there are ups and downs. That is what makes it different from like any other thing that I've tried to help myself stop, is like as soon as you fail that you've failed that whole strategy, whereas this is like no, it's normal. And like I know it's going to work. I just do. So that is like the part that I always focus on. And it's like you can't really get too far down because you know that as long as you put in the work, it's going to happen. So.
Yeah. And what do you think has helped you kind of have this belief like it's gonna work? Like what do you think, like is it just kind of evidence in yourself? Is it like what do you feel has, because like having belief is everything. Like you telling yourself like it's gonna happen, like I am gonna conquer, is the reason why you're actually showing up. Because if you didn't believe it's gonna work, you wouldn't be actually showing up. So what do you think has helped you get to this belief of like this is gonna work?
I think it's just knowing that if I continue, like I believe in the process. So if I continue to take the actions that I need to take throughout the process, then it's going to happen. And it took a while in the beginning for me to start seeing progress, but I was consistent every single day, like waking up, meditating, future pacing. Future pacing was really, really helpful.
Yeah.
By the way. And just like keeping it top of mind every single day. And it's just been the consistency and like little by little by little, like even if there is a setback, it's not going backwards. It's just like it's all kind of compounding. So
yeah,
I think it's just understanding that actions will equal results. It just might. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I just am so sure that it will.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's everything that you need, because you don't need to know when, you don't need to know even how. It's like, I just know that it's going to happen. Like, I think it's also, you trust yourself, because the reality is if you didn't trust yourself, you wouldn't trust this process. Like, even for me on my journey, it's like, I didn't know how or when I was going to conquer, but when I say I'm going to do something, like I do it. And that's just self-trust. And I feel like that's kind of what I'm getting from you, is like, you just trust yourself. Like you show up for yourself. You said you've been consistent from day one, and consistent. You guys listen to this. She's been consistent even on the not so good days, even on the good days. It's not just like, oh, things are working, so I'm going to show up for myself. Even when things aren't the best, it's like, I'm going to show up every single day, because what I did last week is helping me today. What I did last month is going to help me next month. The compound of the results of things that you can't see. Meditating every single day or utilizing the brain-based tools every single day. You're not going to maybe feel a difference today, but next month you're going to be so freaking glad that you showed up for yourself and you implement the tools because you're like, wait, I stopped when I was full, or I was able to eat this without guilt. And it's like, because of what you did last month. So
Yeah, all of it. Like
Yeah.
I was just thinking about rest and exercise too. Like that's been a big thing. I mean, it's just like all the little tiny things, and even the tools that might not resonate at a certain point. Like, I don't know. I just feel like all of it together, it just like keeps progressing me forward.
So good. So good. Well, keep up with the consistency, keep utilizing the tools, because you've already stopped the binges and now it's like you're going to stop the overeating. Like, I just know. So
Thank
so
you. Thank you
good.
for everything.
Yes, of course. You're so welcome. Okay, so I'm just gonna share my screen because there's a few that I want to celebrate before we'll go to Brittany, then we can go to Michelle. I just wanted to celebrate Leela. She's not on, she's in the UK, but she's in the academy. I wanted to read this because Leela is also such a hard worker. She is just somebody who really shows up for herself. She is somebody who is just so committed to being better and learning. Like, she just asks the best questions, and she just is so committed to growing and to healing. So she said that, I met my friend for lunch and had a drive for an hour home. I wanted something sweet and haven't had dessert, and as we haven't gotten dessert yet. I was able to start eating in the car. Halfway through, I realized I didn't want it. This literally never happens to me. It was quite small, but basically the whole thing is that she was able to stop eating when she was full. In the evening, she had her dinner. She ate it slowly. She had breaks. And basically she's just really checking in with herself, and she's been able to stop when she's full and practice not giving into her urges. So I just wanted to celebrate her. Leela, if you're watching the replay, I'm just so freaking proud of you. And let's just all celebrate her being able to just stop when you're full, or even just checking in and being like, I actually don't feel like this chocolate, or like, I actually don't want the rest of this. Like, that's a massive win to just pause. Again, get out of autopilot. Like, that is so freaking huge. We'll do one more here if it pops up. No, where's the photo? Okay, we'll go to this one. Okay, Megan, she's in the academy. She said, I had some M&Ms after dinner and I ate a little bit too many, but I didn't spiral into a binge. I just had a few too many and then I got on with my evening. The reason I wanted to share this is because of this. Again, we've been talking a lot about like the overeating, right? And it's like, if you overeat and you beat yourself up and you're like, oh, I did something wrong, you're going to spiral into a binge. But instead, if you can recognize like, hey, maybe I did have a little bit too much. Maybe I did have a little bit too much and I'm not that proud of it, but like, I don't have to just throw in the towel. You're going to conquer binge eating so much faster than getting into that all or nothing mentality. Okay. Okay, one more thing here. Kristen, she's in the membership. She said, I went out to eat and both times I didn't eat past fullness. I took a to-go box home. I had it for lunch today and I had a to-go box from tonight sitting in the fridge whenever I wanted to eat it. I went out and enjoyed my meal, did not sabotage myself by eating the whole plate and feeling so bloated. Again, stopping when full, even when going out for dinner, like taking a to-go plate home, not getting into the all or nothing mentality, like that is so huge, so huge. Okay, you guys are just so amazing. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Brittany. So Brittany is somebody who was in the membership. She's in the academy. I'm so happy. Let's go ahead and just share some wins and what you feel like has been most helpful for you. I know we kind of talked on the academy call, but like, what has been most helpful for you in your journey so far?
Wins are kind of difficult for me. I'm not used to celebrating myself. It's typically the complete opposite, and I'm used to treating myself very negatively. So it's really hard for me to acknowledge my wins, and kind of like Nora said, like when it comes to other people, and I recognize the people-pleasing nature is so easy for me. Somebody could call me and ask me to clean their toilet, and I would show up, like, but like for myself, even like putting on a face mask, I'm like, I should be like, I just feel guilty helping myself. And like, you hear all like the airplane analogy, like you need to put on your oxygen mask before you do others to help more people. So logically, I know when I help myself, I can help more people. And I think I have like a servant's heart, and I think it's a good thing that I want to help people, but sometimes it's to my detriment. So trying to like prioritize myself, and even like this program, just signing up to begin with is like is choosing myself, because that's time devoted to me and to my relationship with food, and I can't be helping somebody else right now when I'm on this call. But trying to like come to terms with I deserve that is a struggle. I feel like when I come to know I need help is typically like at the wit's end. Like, I've been seeing your posts, and I know I need you. I know I like want to get in the membership or a program, but I talk myself out of it. I like shame, feel guilty. No, like I need to stop being selfish. And then once it's like I'm at the absolute bottom, and it's like the worst binge ever, and it's like you're paralyzed on the couch, like I'm so full, I cannot move. I can't even think. I'm so, and I hate that I would wait until I need so much help, but I feel like slowly and definitely there's a lot of work that still needs to be done, but I'm not kind of waiting until the very worst case scenario. Like, I will use every excuse not to help myself, and I'm about to graduate from college next month, and so it is a very, very busy season of life. But I'm prioritizing this, and I can't devote as much time as I want to towards this, but I am like prioritizing this. And so like I know that's a win, and I'm like trying to be more proactive, and the Q&As are just so helpful, even when I don't have the question and someone else says it. I'm like, oh wow. Because I can kind of ask those things before I'm like at the bottom and I desperately need you, I need you. But it's 3 a.m. and you're asleep.
Yeah.
So it's nice that I can just talk to you, and I'm so amazed by you. Like, I could never just do a impromptu, like, you have no idea what we're gonna ask you. And it's not like, okay, like let me find the answer. Let me do some research and get back. Like, you just know how to help us. And it's always so spot on. And I just really, really respect you and appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. But it's like the fact that like I just want to reflect this back to you, and like the fact that you are literally in such a busy time in your life right now, you could have easily said, I'm not healing, I'm gonna wait for a better time. But there was a piece of you that, whether you recognize it or not, there's a piece of you that recognized, like, I am worthy of being here, I am worthy of doing this. And you chose to be here. You are choosing to be here still. Because how often is it like, I'm going to choose to be here at the beginning when it's like I'm at rock bottom and it's like I need your help, and then it's easy to not actually show up. But you are prioritizing yourself. You are showing up for yourself. And I'm just so proud of you because I know that can be challenging. I know it can be so easy to give and give and give and give to everyone else. And it's like at the end of the day, you need to fill up your own cup. So that is huge. And I just want to say one thing because you probably won't say this, but I'm going to say it because Brittany celebrated, what was it, 3 weeks binge free on our last call. Like, it doesn't matter what happened after, like that happened, like that is freaking huge. And I'm going to celebrate you because I know it's not easy to celebrate yourself, but like you made that happen and you put in the work. And again, you're showing up for yourself. You are, and I was even telling you on the call, even with like the meditation or these other tools, it's like you're so open to trying different things. You're like, I am committed to ending this. So whatever tool you recommend, like I'm going to find a way to like make it work for myself. And that is just so beautiful. So I'm so proud of you, Brittany. You are so incredible for just being here, taking time for yourself and prioritizing this. That's amazing. Yeah. So good.
Thank you. I spent a lot of time devoted to healing my relationship with food and myself, and it's never availed to anything. And I feel like I almost like should have the thoughts of like nothing is gonna work. Like I've tried so much. Like I last year I went to like a treatment facility with like it was like jail. Like no phone, no family, no like eyes on me 24/7 in the shower, on the toilet, like and I'm like, okay, I went through that and came out with more problems. I'm like, nothing can help me. But for some reason, like you just like light this hope and I'm like I want it so bad. I want this to be something that I've overcome and can just be a testimony later in life. And it's hard, but I need that. I need it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you will, because when you want it bad enough, which you do, it's like you aren't somebody that's going to give up. Like again, I think this whole call, it's like there are some people who try something and it doesn't work and they're like, see, I tried. Okay. And it's like there's people that try something and it doesn't work and it's like I'm going to go find the thing that works. You know, and you're here, you're in the academy, you're showing up for yourself and you're not giving up. You're not. You want it. You know you want freedom and it's going to happen because you're in the right mindset. You are ready to heal. You're excited to heal and nothing's going to stop you. So I'm very excited. Very excited. So good. All right. Lastly, we're going to go to Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hi,
Hi. So good to see you. Oh my God. How are you?
good to see you. I'm doing okay, hanging in there. How about you?
Fantastic. Let's hear a win, something that you feel has been going well for you so far since joining the membership.
So, I think being more aware of how I'm feeling and understanding that I can just process the emotions instead of trying to push them away or numb out has been really important for me. Because I think there's a lot of, either trying to zone out by scrolling or by eating or using some method rather than just processing how you feel. And knowing that by processing it, it doesn't have, nothing has to change. Like you don't have to do anything, right? You just have to acknowledge how you're feeling. So that's been really, really important to me. And I think your energy and your positivity is just so encouraging, and you're just a light. You're just a light for everybody. So I appreciate everything so much. I've had wins And I too have a hard time celebrating myself. I'm much better at celebrating others. And I need to be more aware of small wins. Even going, thinking about binging and then not doing it for a couple hours is being, it's a win still.
Yeah.
And also being able to have those meals that are satisfying. Was it Nora talked about the syrup on the pancakes?
Yeah.
And I know talked about that too. It's crazy how we've just deprived ourselves for so long, and letting that guilt go and just being able to enjoy that is huge. It's huge.
Yes.
So
Oh, and you coming on this call and celebrating yourself is probably the biggest win, because if it's hard for you to celebrate yourself and you're here, you are freaking winning at life. Okay.
thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. And you guys, Michelle was one of almost like the first people to join the membership. She signed up for a full year. Like she's committed. She's ready to do this. So I'm also just so proud of you. And you made a really good point about feeling our emotions. It doesn't have to be this daunting thing. It doesn't have to be like this hour-long process, because that's what makes people not want to feel. But it's like, I'm just even gonna take a minute to recognize what emotion am I even feeling in the first place. That is bringing attention to it. That is processing.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So that's
Huge.
amazing. Yes. Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
You're
you.
so welcome. You guys are literally all amazing. I'm just going to share one more thing and then we're going to pop off. I think the picture came back. Okay. Sophie, I wanted to celebrate Sophie. I think she's in the UK, so she wasn't able to be here, but she basically, her win is the fact that she was home alone all weekend and did not binge. The thought popped up in her head. And how many of you guys can resonate with this? It's like, I get the house to myself. I'm just going to binge. It's so easy. Nobody's going to know. And she decided, she wasn't going to binge. She probably utilized some of the tools and she didn't spiral into a binge, which is amazing. And then lastly, oh, it's not going to pop up. Anyways, I just wanted to say about the badass tools. Liz, Cindy, Nora, Sophie, Kristen, Leela, all of you guys been posting in the badass tools. All of you guys are amazing. And I'm just so proud of every single one of you guys, whether you came on, you're watching the replay, you're in the membership, you're in the academy, you are doing something incredible for yourself. Period. You are here, you are committed, you are healing. That is a win. And I hope this call just gave you even more hope, even more encouragement, and just more excitement for what's to come. Like if you guys have been able to experience some of these wins in just, a few months or whatever, it's like, imagine where you're going to be at the end of the year. Like just imagine, like the rest of the month, the rest of the year, like we are just getting started. All of you guys are going to conquer because you guys are here. You've got the right support. You've got the right community, and you guys are all having the right mindset. So I am so proud of you. Thank you guys for sharing. Like this call happened because you guys came on the call and you guys shared. So I freaking love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Be so proud of yourself. Go hug yourself. Go give yourself a high five. Go be proud of yourself. You guys are all amazing. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.